A few years ago, e-bike startups looked unstoppable. They promised a future where commuting was faster, cleaner, and honestly, just cooler. Brands like VanMoof, Cowboy, and Rad Power Bikes weren't just selling bikes, they were selling a lifestyle. Sleek designs, GPS theft protection, smartphone apps, automatic motor tuning. These weren't traditional bicycles anymore. They were smart machines. And people loved them. Demand exploded, especially during the pandemic. Cities were empty, public transport felt risky, and millions of people were searching for better ways to move around. Investors saw this trend and poured massive amounts of venture capital into these startups. Suddenly, these companies weren't just growing. They were scaling at startup speed. But here's the problem. They grew too fast. In the early days, their success came from genuine innovation. Integrated lights, anti-theft tracking, custom motors, and seamless app connectivity made these bikes feel futuristic. Companies like Sushi Bikes and Propella focused on affordability and clean design, while premium brands focused on advanced features and luxury appeal. Everything seemed perfect on the surface. But underneath, serious cracks were forming. The biggest issue was venture capital pressure. Investors weren't satisfied with steady growth. They wanted hyper-growth. They wanted these companies to expand globally, open new markets, and sell as many bikes as possible, as fast as possible, so companies prioritized speed over stability. They rushed production. They used proprietary parts that only they could repair. Now imagine this. Your e-bike stops working, and only the original company can fix it. No local bike shop can help. Replacement parts are unavailable. Customer support is overwhelmed. This created a massive reliability problem. Then came the pandemic supply chain crisis. Component shortages delayed repairs for weeks or even months. Shipping costs skyrocketed. Electronics became harder to source. And suddenly, companies were spending more money fixing bikes than selling them. Warranty claims piled up, and warranty costs are brutal. Every broken motor, every faulty battery, every electronic failure, it all came back to the company. And when thousands of bikes start failing, those costs turn into mountains of expenses. Even worse, the global economy started shifting. Interest rates increased. Investors stopped pouring easy money into startups. Venture capital funding slowed down dramatically. And many e-bike startups, which depended on constant investment to survive, suddenly ran out of cash. This led to bankruptcies, layoffs, and acquisitions. Customer trust took a huge hit. People who spent thousands on premium e-bikes suddenly didn't know if their bike would even be supported next year. And competition made things worse. Price wars began. Companies lowered prices to stay competitive, but this destroyed their profit margins even more. Selling more bikes didn't help, because they weren't making a real profit on each sale. New ownership groups, like Rebirth Group, are bringing a completely different strategy. Instead of chasing explosive growth, they're focusing on long-term stability. Companies are now partnering with traditional bike shops, instead of relying only on direct-to-consumer sales. This means customers can finally get local repairs and service. They're simplifying designs. They're focusing on reliability instead of flashy features. And they're raising prices to sustainable levels. Because the truth is, profitability matters more than hype. The future of the e-bike industry is no longer about acting like a tech startup. It's about acting like a real transportation company. And that's actually a good thing. E-bikes themselves are not failing. In fact, global demand is still growing. Cities are investing in bike infrastructure. People want affordable, sustainable transportation. And e-bikes solve real problems. What failed was the startup bubble. Too much money. Too much hype. Too much pressure to grow too fast. Now the industry is stabilizing. Companies are learning from their mistakes. They're building stronger supply chains, better service networks, and more reliable products. The gold rush is over, but the real future is just beginning. And this time, it's built to last. Because in the end, the companies that survive won't be the ones that grow the fastest. They'll be the ones who build trust. So that's all about why all the e-bikes startups went bankrupt. Thanks for watching. Hit like, sub for more content like this.